They met in the art museum. He was sketching a bronze sculpture of a dancer. She was staring at a Monet. The first thing he said to her was, "I like how you tilt your head when you look at something you love." Her name was Noelle, and his was Grant. She smiled, unsure whether to laugh or walk away. But somehow, that awkward line turned into coffee. Coffee turned into dates, and dates became shared routines. They got married 2 years later. Noelle wore a simple cream dress. They danced under a string of fairy lights in her sister's backyard. Grant cried when he saw her walk down the garden path. They bought a small brick house on Mapleview Lane, surrounded by oaks. It had a garden, a sunroom, and floor-length cream curtains in the living room that Noelle adored. The light there was soft, the kind that made everything look like a memory. For 7 years, they built a quiet, content life. Noelle taught literature at the local high school. Grant was a freelance architect, always scribbling ideas in sketchbooks and flying off for short projects. He'd always return with stories, gifts, and that crooked smile she fell in love with. But over time, she noticed the silences. They weren't arguments, just silences that stretched longer than before. He'd come home distracted, tired, his phone always face down. The curtains in the living room, once open every morning for light, began to stay closed. One evening, she found one of his sketchbooks lying open on the table. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was a charcoal drawing of a woman, not her. Someone younger, more angular. A woman in a silk robe, her hair cascading down her back. The shading was intimate, intentionally sensual. Noelle stared at it for a long time. When she asked him calmly about the drawing, he blinked too many times. "Oh, that? It's a figure study. From a hotel client lobby concept." His words were too quick, too practiced. Noelle didn't argue. Instead, she watched. The hotel projects came more often. The trips were longer. And the scent on his clothes. It wasn't her perfume, nor the soap he used. It was something else, floral, with a hint of citrus. She didn't say anything for weeks. She just kept the curtains closed. One afternoon, when he was out visiting a client, Noelle logged into his laptop, not because she wanted to be the kind of person who did that, but because she already knew the truth. Now she just needed to see it. And there it was. Emails. Dozens. Not labeled work. Not labeled meetings. One was from Liana. "Still thinking about last night. You falling asleep in my arms. It just felt right. Wish you didn't have to leave." Another. "You keep saying you'll tell her. When, Grant?" Noelle shut the laptop slowly, as if closing it might rewind time. That evening, he came home as if nothing had happened. She made him pasta, his favorite, with sun-dried tomatoes and white wine sauce. He kissed her cheek and said, "You're amazing. I don't say it enough." And that was the worst part. How easy it was for him to switch roles. How familiar he was with the performance. A week later, Noelle packed a single suitcase and left him a letter on the kitchen table. It was short. "I opened the curtains today. The light looks different when you're not lying." She moved in with her friend near the river. Quiet place. A new chapter. People asked her what happened. She told them, "I grew tired of living in a house where the curtains stayed closed." Grant never replied to the letter. Months later, Noelle heard he moved in with Liana. She wasn't surprised. People always assumed betrayal was loud. Shouting, slamming doors, broken dishes. But sometimes it was silent. Like curtains left shut in a room once filled with morning sun.